Bouncy blow dry tutorial using the Dyson Airwrap and the large round brush attachment. Let's get into it. Hi and welcome back, or hello if you are new here. My name is Chlöe Swift. I'm a professional hairstylist and hair care expert. I'm going to be showing you exactly how to use and get the best result with the Dyson Airwrap. This is the brand new Airwrap, the i.d. I'm not going to be using the i.d. feature. So the i.d. feature hooks up to your phone, it hooks up to Bluetooth, but that only works with these heads, and it kind of tells you how long to hold it on for, when to use the cool shot mode. It doesn't work with this round brush head, so I'm not going to be using the i.d. feature today, but if you do want to see how you kind of use it and what that's about and kind of my review on that, I have done a video about that which I'll link below. But yeah, today we are just going to be focusing on this really large round brush head, which I'm so excited because this is kind of, out of all of the attachments with the Dyson Airwrap, this is the one that I'm going to most likely pick. You've got more control over it. You are essentially still creating your blow dry. You're not relying on kind of just leaving it on and it doesn't suck up the hair or anything. You are in more control, and I think that's what I like about it, because if I'm gonna do any kind of style on my hair, I am the one physically doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna show you exactly how to use it, and let's start off with all the products I'm gonna pop into my hair. First up, I'm going in with the Living Proof No Frizz Smooth Styling Spray. So this is a heat protection spray. It does protect your hair from heat. It's really great at just smoothing out your hair as well. So this is like the great first step to just kind of prime and protect the hair, but it's going to help to get rid of any fluffiness, frizziness, because my hair is definitely frizz prone. Next up, we're going in with a blow dry cream. This is the Virtue Flourish. It also contains your heat protection, but it helps to thicken and plump up the hair. So it's really great before doing these kind of like blow dry styles, because you don't want the ends to be looking thin and scraggly. Then I'm going in with an oil. This is the Carousel's Elixir. If you watch my videos, you know we never skip this step. Now to get the volume and the hold in the hair, this is like my tried and tested go-to combo. So this first of all is the Maria Neela Volume Spray, and we are going to spray this all into the roots throughout. To get hold and body on the mid-lengths and ends, I'm popping in the Colour Wow. This is the extra large bombshell volumizer, and this is a foam product. Plenty of this in, and just rake that through. Hair all prepped, so you can literally see how much more that's wet the hair down. So this hair is now way too wet to go straight in with our round brush, so we do need to take some of this excess moisture out. And to take out this excess moisture, I'm actually using this flyaway attachment. Someone commented on my previous Airwrap video about how this basically does the same thing as taking out moisture, so I've just had a little play around with it, and you can angle the airflow. So basically that is the no airflow. The airflow only comes out of these tiny little gaps, and I think that's then to control your flyaways. If you actually just angle it here, then the airflow just comes directly out of there, quite powerful. So I'm going to try that first and take out the moisture with this attachment and see how that is. And I'm going to go up to medium heat, because I don't like to ever go on high heat when the hair is at its most wet, because hair is at its most vulnerable when it's most wet. So I'm going to go medium heat, but I will go, at what speed should we go? We'll stay at medium speed, I think. Really focus at getting the wetness and the excess moisture out of your roots, because the roots take longer to dry because it's a thicker, more dense area. Okay, I have to say I really like that. My hair is nowhere near as crazy as when I used it before, just with this fast drying attachment. The airflow literally just comes out of there. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that for taking out a lot of the excess moisture if your hair is also frizz prone and fluffy. I'd say right now my hair is about 85% dry, so I'd say it's literally only about 15% dampness. It pretty much looks dry, but you know when you go through you can like feel the hair is still cold and a bit wet, which still means it's damp, and I'd say that's the perfect amount of wetness, dampness you want before you're going in with this round brush. You don't need it to be any wetter. Your hair will only change shape from alpha keratin, which is its natural form, into beta keratin, which is kind of the form and the shape you're molding it into. It will only ever change that shape when your hair is already like 80% dry. So yeah, if you're trying to do it from super wet and more wet than this, you're effectively just kind of wasting your own time. It's not gonna make any difference. It's not gonna make or form a better shape. So yeah, get to this point before we attach our round brush. Attaching the round brush now, so I'm just going to release out this flyaway attachment and then pop on our large round brush. Going to go in and section. These are designed to just literally not slip out of the hair at all. So you've got like your normal teeth there and a clear, but then it's also got these extra teeth here. So it's so good for thick, long hair, and that is like so secure. So I like to just do a little bun, clip that out of the way. So first section has gone from the tops of the ears. I've just drawn a line to the back of the head, and then clip that up and out of the way. So now, because the hair is pretty much mostly dry, it can kind of take it. We're going up to the highest heat because now we are really sealing in that shape. But to be honest, I think I'm going to keep it on the medium speed. I find even when I've got my hair dry going, I find I just have more control over the hair on a medium speed, and it's not so powerful. It's kind of blowing the hair everywhere. Air wrap on. We are going to hold the air wrap vertically to start with. So just pop the brush behind the air wrap. And first of all, let's just glide down all the way just to make sure it's like detangled. Second time, we're going to get that full wrap, that full rotation in. Hold it at the root just for a little bit, just to make sure that root area is drying. And then I'm going to glide it all the way down to the ends. Wrap it back up. And I'm just kind of touching and feeling here just to see how dry the hair is. Release that tension, and then we are unraveling out the hair. And the good thing is, because you've taken out so much of that wetness and the moisture already, you really don't need to leave it on the hair for too long at all. I actually might just repeat that one, and then what we're going to do, I actually don't have my pins ready. I am going to be pinning all of these in place as well. So let me just grab my pins. Okay, bag of hair grips and pins ready to go. So the ones you want to be using, I'll link some down below, but just these kind of little small silver pins just to clip that up and out of the way. So I'm going to keep these in my lap. And then 2 fingers behind this section, and we are just going to wrap it in the direction that the curl's going in. So this is going away from the face. First pin curl in. We're going to repeat the same on this side, and we're going to have this side coming away from the face as well. So brush behind the hair and then wrapping around in this direction. With full wrap right at the start. Just wait there for a few seconds to make sure the root area is nice and dry, and then we're going to wrap all the way down, tucking in the ends. And if you notice these kind of shorter hairs are falling out, just kind of reintroduce them as you're wrapping back up. Wait there again for a couple of seconds. That's quite nice with the air wrap. You can literally just turn it off as you're then unwrapping it all out of the hair. And then 2 fingers behind this section again, and we want to wrap away from the face because that's the direction the curl was going in. I'm not using cold shot with any of these because I find personally on my hair, I just like to leave it warm and in these pin curls just to really set in that shape rather than kind of crash cooling them and giving them that cold setting. You could just quickly go down to the cold setting. So that's the cold one, this blue little, so you pop that all the way down your heat. Give it a cold blast, but then you wouldn't necessarily need to pin it. So maybe that's good if you don't have time to kind of pop all these pin curls in. But yeah, I think best result for me and my hair, I do like to pin curl them whilst they're nice and warm. I like to take the eyebrow as my next section. So just using your index fingers, drawing a line so it meets the back of the head. Same again, we are just twisting and clipping that up just into one big clip, because your head gets larger as you work up the head because your head tapers in at the back. So at the back, it's fine just to have 2 little small sections that you can reach around, but now we're too big, we need to have one back section. So I'm going to have a side one, and just make sure when you take your sections, they're kind of no wider than the actual width of your brush there. So I guess when you are doing the back one, we'll probably just want somewhere where you can kind of see in the mirror. I guess the main thing, most people aren't able to dry the roots at the back. So just make sure you've got a mirror or somewhere you can see. So I can actually see through my camera lens here. I can see then into the mirror here. Just make sure you know where you're popping the brush, so then you're not missing any little damp pieces basically at the root. Okay, so we got 2 initially on our very first sections. Now we're starting to go 1 at the back, and you can start to see we're layering in like what we call a bricklayer pattern. So this one sits in the middle of these 2, and that's how we're going to continue working up the head. So the main difference there, what I changed with the back section, I was actually going in horizontally, whereas these sides so far I've been going in vertically. So what's going to happen when you go in vertically, and why I'm doing that, I just want to retain more length with my hair. I don't want it to bounce up or go too short with the kind of the amount of volume and root lift. So that's what's going to happen when we go vertically. So vertically you get like width here, so it's kind of looking fuller and wider, but you're going to retain the length, whereas when you go in horizontally you get a lot more root lift right at the root, but it is going to make the hair bounce up. So yeah, obviously we want root lift here at the back, so that's why I'm going in horizontally. But again, continuing on my next sections, so again just drawing the line around the head, and naturally as you're drawing your line now, it starts to form more of a horseshoe section on the top here, but I'm still going to continue with that same kind of pattern. So these 2 side pieces are going to be vertically done, and the back is going to be horizontally again. What I love is that this tool is actually, it's so lightweight. So yeah, it doesn't feel like annoying having your arms up in the air, especially when even when you're doing like these top back sections. It is a really easy tool to use, and like you'll notice I'm using this kind of cool tip on the end just to really help glide it up and pull it up with my top sections. Let's let this horseshoe section down now and see what we're working with. So yeah, main thing you want to focus on, yeah, that's going to be too wide, so always bring your brush here to the top, and if the actual section itself spills further than the bristles, that's going to be too wide. So I do need to still fit in a little side section here first before I work on my top and go backwards. So let me just pop that in, a smaller horseshoe section at the top there. And now, because these ones are on the top and not the sides, I do want root lift here. So I'm not going to go in vertically here. I do want to go in horizontally. And I'm actually going to hold my brush in this hand and have the tip pointing towards the mirror, because that should make the curl fall away from the face. Okay, so now your top section is down, this last little skinny horseshoe. All we want to do is just take horizontal sections back and then work backwards. So I could do that in 2 bigger ones or 3 smaller ones. I might try 3 smaller ones, because there's nothing worse than, you know, when you've left like the roots a little bit damp. So I'm going to take 3 smaller ones, I think. When you're pinning these, just make sure you're doing like the perfect barrel curl so it is sitting straight up, and that's also going to help you set with then more volume. And now my last section, and maybe you'll notice also instead of like going directly up, I'm kind of over directing it and bringing it more forwards, and that does actually create a bit more bend, which then creates more root lift rather than like going and just pulling it directly straight and straight upwards. If you actually go forwards, getting that like kink and bending creates more lift and volume at the top. We're going to leave these for at least 10 minutes to cool and set, and I'm just going to spray on top a very light hairspray. So just to recap, sections, we were going in vertically on these sides just to create more width but retain more length, and then working up in more of a bricklayer pattern throughout the back. So trying to focus one kind of barrel curl in between where there's two, just to kind of stagger it and that you don't have any lines when you dress it out. Trying to work through a horseshoe section as you work through the top, and all of these are literally just going directly backwards on a horizontal. Now I just need to leave these to cool for 10 minutes, so I'll be right back. Coming to you a good, I'd say like 20 minutes later. I made a coffee, I was just doing some laptop work, but yeah, I'm gonna take these out now. Okay, last couple on the top here. Now we just need that little finishing touch to dress it out, and all I'm gonna do, shock horror, I'm gonna go in with some little touch of oil. Don't be afraid of going in with oil, especially when you have got the right oil. So this oil is so lightweight, so I like to go in kind of like almost massage it in like a hand cream. So it's on the backs of your hands, it's on the palms, but it means there's not too much on your palms. You can just like rake it through your hair. The oil that's on the back of your hands is gonna like go through your hair. But yeah, all we wanna do now is just run our fingers through this hair and break up like the sections. Literally love that so much. I feel like it's such like an old money, expensive looking blow dry. How good is that? But honestly, I would not have got this result if I did barrel curl and pin the hair up whilst I was doing it. I love it. I am obsessed. So you can literally see how much width I've got here. So you can see what I mean by kind of retaining the length. It's not bounced up and gone super short, but we've got plenty of width here, making it look thick and full. And with how much product I've got in my hair, this is just what I love about this concoction of products that I believe I've perfected to create this root lift and volume. Maybe you could see when I was actually blow drying it through, like it did feel a bit tuggy at some points, but I mean, I guess that's the point. You need it to have that grip and that kind of guts in the hair to get it to hold and to do what you want. But now that we have like, the hair is all fully dry, I've gone through, I've just popped a little bit of oil through to dress it all out. Honestly, it does not feel sticky or heavy with product at all. It's not crispy, and hopefully you can tell that just by kind of seeing this end result. But yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed. I feel like this is going to be my go-to tool, especially for hair wash days when I have washed my hair. And let me just show you what the back looks like with this. See, you've just got like a nice full voluminous back, just a little bit flicky on the ends really. If you did have more layers than me, because I've pretty much just grown out all of my layers now, but if you have more layers than me, then you would definitely see kind of shorter and kind of more shape throughout the back. But yeah, my hair is pretty much just all one length at the back now, so I'm not gonna have much shape at the back, just a little bit of like a flicky end. I just love it so much. So that is your full tutorial on how to use the Dyson Airwrap with the large round brush to create this bouncy, voluminous, blow-dried effect. I would love to know what you guys think. Please leave me a comment down below if you enjoyed this video or if you learned something new. I'd love it if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, because I post weekly, and if you do, I'll be seeing you next week for lots more hair tutorials and hair care tips. Bye guys!